Well, welcome everybody.
And no, you haven't.
I've been sitting here waiting for her to come into the studio to sit down and start recording. And I said, I've been here for 15, 20 minutes. No, you haven't. No, you
You
haven't.
haven't.
And so
5 or 10.
immediately you sat down and we getting ready to record. And what do you start doing? Dusting off
I wouldn't
the
have to
the
dust it
desk.
off if you would eat over a plate.
Folks, this show is about spring cleaning. And Mrs. Dirt Devil got a head start because she's already, oh, there's dust here and there's crumbs and
There's
all. Uh,
food.
the people don't know that.
I
They
know
just
it.
they just see two gorgeous people in front of the camera. They don't know what's down on the floor. They also don't know whether we're wearing
What?
pajama bottoms or shorts or nice slacks.
Know it.
But you don't have to let the audience know about it.
Well, you could stop
That's
the recording.
no. Folks, it's that time again for spring cleaning, and we started talking about things that you get rid of, and of course, there's all kinds of stuff that you get rid of. Clothing clothing is one of
There's so
the
much.
first things
Yeah.
because both of us have two closets and all. And one closet has the spring goods in it, and the other is the winter goods. So now that we're going into the spring summer season, you have to take the stuff from the spring collection and put it in to the fall area, and the vice versa.
But sometimes we clean out our closets in between.
Occasionally you put something on and you say, I don't like this
Yeah, right.
anymore. And so what I do is I have a section of one of my closets that I put the stuff that's gonna go to be recycled or repurposed, as they say.
I like repurpose.
Yeah, because you're gonna donate it to somebody that can
Yeah, but
use it.
we do it quite a bit. We go through our clothes. Maybe
We could,
me more than you.
right, but usually it's when you get to that change of seasons
That's, I won't
because you
argue.
you take it out and you have a fashion show for about a day and a half or so where you try stuff on and try to, well, all right, I'll keep it one more year. And you moving into your main
Yes.
closet
So
for
number
the spring.
one of things to get rid of, and we realize we're doing this a little later than the first of the year,
Well,
but better late than never.
but I mean, spring officially started only about a week or so ago.
Yeah, but sometimes I like
And
to get some on some of these things like right away, January 1, like with our taxes. January 1, boy. Sometimes in December I'm starting to clean out
well,
the
yeah, you're
folders and
still another week or so away from the deadline for filing your taxes.
yeah,
So if you haven't done it yet, you better get on it
please, yeah.
because it's coming up. But the baseball season is starting, and that also kind of signals the start of spring summer. Uh,
That's true.
there's a lot of indicators. We just, what, a couple of weeks ago we changed the clocks again, which is always an undaunting
Yeah, they talked about not
task.
doing that, but
And how many years have they been talking
I
about
know, I
that?
know. But anyway, so the
Yeah.
clothes is number one.
Yeah. I mean,
I
we
really,
got a whole list of stuff like that. And the one that's intriguing here is books you'll never reread. And it's interesting because a lot of people have bookcases in their homes. And so after you read a book, you put it in the bookcase the purpose is it makes the bookcase look nice when it's filled.
that's true.
And only until you get to the point where you read a book and you go to put it in the bookcase and you can't find a space for it, that's when you sit down and you diligently go through and say, okay, I'm never going to read this book again, or oh, I got two copies of this. I can get rid of one.
You see the new way to put books on a bookshelf? This has nothing to do with
Was that
cleaning.
what, sideways?
Oh,
Or
no, you put the pages out so that you can't see the binder.
that makes
And I don't
zero
understand
sense to
that
me.
at all.
Yeah, we saw
But
that.
yeah,
Now, where we saw that was on HGTV
yeah,
on one of the shows.
not only one person, but lot of people are doing it.
And I'm wondering if they do it that way on the reality shows because to have the binder side
They don't
exposed
want people seeing
also
it.
advertises the book. And
Well, yeah, that's like putting pictures of your family up and they don't want you to see the pictures
yeah,
of the
they
family.
they like
They blur it out.
blur it
Or
out.
the paintings. They don't
Mhm.
want but I don't know, it just looks weird. Looks strange to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, clean out your books.
That, well, old receipts and papers and stuff like that kind of goes along with your taxes.
Right.
You go through and you open up your file cabinet and all of those, if you do like I do, I save my statements each month and I put on it the check number that I wrote and the the date that I
Hmm.
I wrote the check. And it's just that I have, well, by the end of the year, once you're getting ready to file, you can get rid of all those papers. And what I highly recommend is you invest a few bucks in getting a shredder, a paper shredder, because a lot of times those documents that you want to just throw away, they've got your account numbers on it. It's got your phone number sometimes, your address. And you don't want that to be available
Yeah,
information for
visible.
anybody.
Yeah, no.
So, for as little as $30, you can get a small electric shredder and shred up all those documents.
You're right. Yeah, no, it's a good idea.
And every year you also get rid of your tax return that is more than 7 years old. Well, you don't want to just throw that in the garbage, do you? No, you want to
No,
shred it,
siree. Yeah.
and you shouldn't have to pay big bucks for a company that
To
comes
just
around
shredding.
that collects all your stuff and shreds it for you for two reasons. Number one, why spend that money? And number two, how do you know
They're on the up
those,
and up.
yeah, that they are in fact going to shred everything without looking at it?
Good point.
Yeah.
I also like to go through the expired makeup and canned goods in your pantries.
I do that too. I get rid of my old mascara
Do
and
you?
my blush.
Good to know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, you should.
yeah.
And your powder.
Hmm.
But that can last for years. I mean, it's not supposed to. I think it's like a year. But
That's
I do keep mine a little longer than they say.
and that brings up a point. We always have, and I'm as guilty as anybody. We all have a tendency to buy the large or the extra large size of everything because it's cost effective.
Mhm.
It's cheaper per ounce, the larger the package.
Mhm.
But if you're buying something that you don't use, typical example is things like aspirin. If you buy the bottle with 500 aspirin in it, it is cheaper per aspirin than it is if you buy the 30 or the 40 or 50
Mhm.
count bottle. Problem is, by the time you get to that end of that bottle, it is probably expired a year earlier, and you are big on
Well, I
on
hope
that.
not. I hope it's not expired a year earlier.
Yeah, but stop and think about it. If you pick up the bottle and the bottle has an expiration date of a year from now, you don't need to buy a bottle that's got more than
Right.
365
Well, they do say
pills
that
in it.
you've got an extra 6 months on those expired dates.
Okay.
You can wait a few months. I'm always hesitant,
Yeah.
but I have read that. Um, but yeah, you're right. But most of
Yep.
the things that when I go into a store and I look at the expiration dates, they're usually now much more than a year. They can be 2 years out. So in
The
that case,
expiration
yeah.
date, yeah.
So in that
Well,
case, it
especially,
behooves you to buy
yeah,
that large bottle of Tylenol or aspirin or whatever.
yeah.
But
But like canned goods, you have gotten very, very big on checking expiration dates on canned
when we're at
goods
the grocery store shopping, I don't buy anything that's going to be
that expires in
expires.
30 or 60
Right.
days.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
No way. Um, broken gadgets collecting dust.
Yeah, the get
You always think, well, maybe
it
I'll need it for something or I'll fix it or
Well, yeah, I mean,
but you really
like
don't.
guys never throw away screwdrivers. if you get new screwdrivers, you just put the old screwdrivers in a drawer. Now, the new screwdriver will do everything that that old screwdriver did. And maybe the grip is even a little bit better. But why do we keep the old screwdrivers?
Well, why do you
Sa-
buy a new
Well,
one
same thing with the pliers.
if the old one is okay?
Because it was an impulse buy when you were at
Ah,
Home Depot,
there you
or
go.
you needed to buy a longer handled screwdriver, but it comes in a package with eight other screwdrivers for less money than just buying the one that you want.
Right. Yeah.
And so you take it home and you got all these. I mean, if you go through your drawers, how many staplers do you need? How many pair of scissors? We have a pair of scissors in almost every drawer in our house.
Not every drawer, every room.
Well, every room. But in the kitchen, you probably have four pair of scissors in there. We got a
We got big ones, we
couple,
got little ones, we got medium ones.
yeah.
You never know. You might need a medium one or a small one.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know
And
why I have them all. I really don't.
and things like we talk about buying in quantity. Who is ever going to use 100 pencils? But when you go to buy pencils, a package of six is like $2. A package of 100 is $3. Okay, so I'll buy the
But then
package of
you never
100.
have to worry about buying them again
Um,
for a long time.
you also probably don't have to worry about using a pencil because hardly anybody uses pencils anymore.
Well, that could be. It just
And
depends.
and you use the you know the extender kind of pencils now instead of the ones that you have to have
Oh,
a
where you need a
yeah.
pencil sharpener.
And I'll bet
The
everybody
mechanical pencils,
has got
yes.
a drawer with a pencil sharpener in it. Either
Well,
either the one that you turn or the little ones you used to have in your pencil box
yeah,
in school
I still have
that
them.
you okay, see? And let me ask you a question. When was the last time you used one?
Actually, I
Oh,
used
you
it for
used
my
it?
makeup.
Yeah, okay. You use it for the eyeliner.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
But
I stand corrected, folks.
hey, hey. No, I was going to say something, you made me forget it. Oh, go through your pencils and pens. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize we had so many that weren't working. And one day I just stood in front of the drawer and I went through them all and
We retired 12 years ago, and we had pens, printed
yeah.
for our business. We still have pens from our
And I'm
business.
slowly throwing them all out because they've dried up.
Right, because you take out a pencil and you start to use it and it won't work.
Well, it's so frustrating.
But we still have two bags
I
of
know.
customized
And you know
pens
where they're going to
from our
go. You
business.
know where they're
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Worn out towels,
But
bath towels, kitchen towels, the ones that
yes.
have strings that are all hanging, either cut
Like
the strings or just
you know that old saying that one person's treasure, or one person's what is it?
one person's trash is another
Trash is another
person's
person's treasure.
treasure.
So one person's dish towel is the other person's rag.
Yes, that's what I do with my old
If
towels.
that
I
if
cut them up.
towels start to fray a little bit, God forbid you should throw it in the
Oh no,
garbage.
you use it as
No, it just moves from the towel drawer to the rag
but
bag.
I mean, it serves a purpose. Now, maybe you don't like that towel because it's doesn't dry anymore. So get rid of it.
Except how often do you go through the rag bag because you
Well,
keep adding to that?
not as
And
often as I probably
yeah,
should,
you know,
but at least I have rags
that's true.
for cleaning things up.
And if I say, I need a rag you want large, small, you want white, you want color,
Hey, I aims to please.
yeah.
And socks. Go through your socks. For
Yeah.
you runners and walkers out there, exercise people. Yeah.
My socks don't hit the garbage until there's a hole in the toe. I
Well,
I
that's
don't know why.
okay,
And I'm
but if they're meant to be padded for your shoes and your feet,
well, yeah,
and
the
if the
padding
padding
wears
is
out.
kind of disintegrated, I mean, what good is it?
Yeah. And also, that's another one. Try and go out and buy a pair of socks because
Yeah, you
now
can't.
now they come either in a 6 pack or a 12 pack
Right,
or a 24 pack, and you say, well, the 24 pack is only $2 more than the
right,
12 pack,
right.
so I'll get 24 pair of socks. Now, I only wear one pair of socks at a time,
But
so that means I can go almost a month, without wearing the same pair of socks again.
but we were just out shopping and you made me buy this huge quantity of socks, which really was okay because I liked the socks. And this way I have them for a long time because I'm telling you, when you go to buy that same pair of socks 2 years later or even 6 months later, you won't find them.
Yeah,
So that's why I do buy some things in bulk, and socks would be one of them. What else? Outdated magazines.
yeah, people do say
I keep going through the magazines
now, if
too.
if it's your favorite magazine or something, people do have a tendency to collect them. But sometimes you don't, or it's a periodical that you get a paper or a community paper, and sometimes you're sitting reading, it's
Mhm.
April now, and you're reading the January edition,
Right.
and you realize that all the information in the January edition is ancient history.
Or I cut it out and I save it. I put it in just like a magazine file.
Yeah, and how often do you open the magazine
No, I
file to
do.
check it
Sometimes
out?
I do, but it's good to have it if you want to refer back to it.
Another one, another.
I
Yeah.
do have a method to my
Yeah.
madness at times.
Another one is a card file,
Oh, yeah, you're big on that one.
like the three
Business
by three
cards.
by five
Business cards that
business
people don't
cards.
have anymore.
And probably 25% of the businesses are out of business now or retired.
Yeah, no one has business cards except you.
Yeah, I mean I still do keep business cards. Now I do way back from our old shoe days. I still have just for nostalgia's sake, the business cards from all of
Well, it's
the
different.
representatives that we worked with, and that's kind of fun to take out once in a
Yeah,
while.
you like looking at that.
But
That's all.
every once in a while, you're looking for a landscaper, and you pull out your file and you call up, Joe's Landscape Service, and you call, and it's Bing, Bing, Bing. That number you have dialed is no
Well, you
longer
can't
in.
help that.
You know,
Yeah. You
but
know what? My phone. I've been going through my phone and deleting some apps that I'm not using anymore
yeah,
because it
I
gives me
do it
then
too.
more storage on the phone
Well,
or
yeah,
on the
that's
computer.
because every once in a while you get a little pop-up on your phone that says you your storage is almost full. So you
Yeah.
have to go through and
So
edit
I
out
do.
what you have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just like I do that with my um, list of contacts
Hmm.
because sometimes I have duplicates or there's a contact that
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, if I really want them, I can find them online.
Elsewhere.
I
Yeah.
don't have to carry it in my phone. So,
That's
hey,
our thing.
but it's spring cleaning time, so however you do it, the time is now.
Yeah.
We're
Remember that.
Yeah,
The time is now. Now.
right, and
For the
never
garage.
never put
Now.
off until today what you can do tomorrow.
No.
I got that backwards, right?
Well, I don't subscribe to it
On
either
on
way.
on purpose, but go out and make it a good one, and keep in mind invest in that shredder. It's probably a good idea now that I brought it up.
Okay, let's go out to the
Yeah.
garage.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We got to go now. So,
See y'all. Bye.
bye.